Can physics prove the existence of God? This is one of the most profound questions humanity has asked for millennia. Science, and specifically physics, has made remarkable strides in explaining the universe, from the smallest particles to the vastness of space. But can it answer the ultimate question, is there a higher power behind it all? To understand this, we must look at the relationship between science and belief. Physics, at its core, is a way of explaining the natural world. It gives us models, equations, and theories that help us understand everything from the behavior of atoms to the movement of galaxies. However, many argue that while physics explains how things work, it doesn't necessarily address why things exist in the first place. At the heart of the debate is whether the natural laws of physics are enough to account for everything we observe in the universe, or whether there is something beyond these laws, a divine force or intelligence. One of the main arguments for a connection between physics and the existence of God comes from what is called the fine-tuning of the universe. This is the idea that the fundamental constants of the universe, things like the speed of light, the gravitational constant, and the charge of the electron, are incredibly specific. If any of these constants were even slightly different, life as we know it wouldn't exist. Some see this fine-tuning as evidence of a divine creator, while others believe there may be natural explanations, such as the multiverse theory, which suggests there could be countless universes with different physical laws. The fine-tuning argument leads us to ask, is the universe designed, or is it just a lucky coincidence that we happen to exist in a universe with the right conditions for life? Those who argue in favor of design often say that the extreme improbability of these conditions points to a higher intelligence that set them up. The famous physicist and cosmologist Stephen Hawking once said, "The odds against a universe like ours emerging out of something like the Big Bang are enormous." He asked whether there was some divine force that intervened, or whether there were scientific explanations we had yet to uncover. Another fascinating intersection between physics and belief in God comes from quantum mechanics. Quantum physics deals with the behavior of particles on a microscopic scale, and what it reveals is often strange and counterintuitive. At the quantum level, particles can exist in multiple states at once, and their behavior seems to be influenced simply by being observed. Some people interpret these mysteries as potential evidence for the existence of a greater power or intelligence that operates beyond our understanding. Physicist John Polkinghorne, who is both a scientist and an Anglican priest, has written extensively about the potential for physics to provide insight into divine creation. He argues that while physics alone cannot prove the existence of God, it can open the door to questions about the origin of the universe and the nature of reality that make belief in a creator more plausible. He believes that the mathematical beauty and order of the physical universe may hint at something beyond the material world. There's also the famous argument from Albert Einstein, one of the greatest physicists in history, who once said, "The more I study science, the more I believe in God." While Einstein didn't believe in a personal God in the traditional religious sense, his views reflected a deep sense of awe at the order and complexity of the universe. For him, the laws of physics hinted at a deeper reality, something mysterious and incomprehensible. But the debate is far from one-sided. Many scientists are firm in their belief that physics, by its very nature, does not and cannot address questions of God or spirituality. Science is based on evidence and testable theories. The idea of God, especially in the religious sense, is not something that can be tested or observed in the same way as natural phenomena. The physicist Richard Feynman once said, "Physics is like sex. Sure, it may give some practical results, but that's not why we do it." His point was that physics is not about answering metaphysical questions, but about exploring the natural world. Many proponents of atheism, such as the evolutionary biologist Richard Dawkins, argue that the fine-tuning of the universe does not imply a creator, but rather that humans are using their limited understanding to ascribe divine meaning to natural processes. Dawkins argues that just because we do not fully understand certain aspects of the universe doesn't mean we should fill those gaps with supernatural explanations. For atheists, the existence of a complex, ordered universe doesn't require a creator. Rather, it can be explained through natural processes like evolution and the Big Bang. Interestingly, even the Big Bang theory itself has been at the center of the God debate. Some believers see the Big Bang as evidence of a creation event, the moment when God set the universe into motion. Before the Big Bang, time and space didn't exist, which begs the question, what caused the Big Bang? For some, this is where the divine comes in, as it's difficult to imagine something coming from nothing. However, others argue that the Big Bang and subsequent developments in physics have removed the need for God in the explanation of the universe. They see it as proof that natural laws, not a divine being, govern the origins of everything. Ultimately, whether or not physics can prove the existence of God depends on how one defines proof and what one is willing to accept as evidence. For some, the beauty and order of the universe are enough to suggest a higher power. For others, the mysteries of quantum mechanics, the fine-tuning of the universe, and the Big Bang provide compelling reasons to believe in a creator. But for many scientists, these same phenomena can be explained without invoking the supernatural. This brings us back to the age-old tension between science and religion. Can they coexist, or are they fundamentally at odds? Increasingly, some scientists and philosophers are advocating for a more harmonious view, where science explains the how and religion or spirituality provides answers to the why. In this view, physics might not be able to prove the existence of God, but it can certainly offer insights that allow us to ponder the possibility. In conclusion, physics, as a tool of science, excels at exploring the natural world and providing explanations for physical phenomena. It may not be able to prove the existence of God in the traditional sense, but it opens the door to important questions about the origin, complexity, and beauty of the universe. Whether one views these questions as leading to belief in a higher power or simply the result of natural processes is a matter of personal interpretation. What's clear is that physics continues to inspire awe, wonder, and curiosity, traits that lie at the heart of both science and spirituality.